I mean, that'd be useful, but I think we want to speak to somebody else if it's possible.
And she's like, oh, I didn't. And she looks at the document again. She's like, Speaker Shane only indicated a conversation with Gant. She's like, who did you have in mind?
Let me check my notes.
Yeah.
Sunblight. I got his name. Where did I put it?
Nildar Sunblight.
Nildar, right, yeah.
Oh, that's right, I transferred it over. Okay.
And she's like, Nildar, oh, our newest member.
Yeah.
We don't have documents for this because the information that we needed from him has come up on our trek from Bryn Shander.
Roll me a deception check.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Not so easy.
I'm trying to survive this conversation. Does that count? No?
I thought I made an intellectual argument, but it was deaf ears.
That's not bad.
She's like, apparently, she's like, Nildar is connected to a larger group. And she goes, and I hope you can understand my desire for keeping conversation with someone like Nildar secure unless specifically asked for by one of the speakers.
I mean, with all due respect, he wouldn't even be here in the first place if it wasn't for us, so I think that earns us some special privileges.
Wait, was that true?
We were the
we got him. Yeah, we caught him.
Oh, right, okay.
She's like, you've encountered Nildar before.
Encountered him.
We go way back.
Chains. Yep.
She's like,
oh, I pull out the. I got his braid. I took one of his braid rings.
Oh, that's right.
Leif takes that out.
Payoff.
The warden has been particularly stoic, almost placid this whole time, very calm. But as soon as Leif takes the braid out, she's like, ha! She's like, he hasn't shut up about that since he got here. She's like, okay. She's like, you can have an audience with Nildar. It'll be quick.
Yes!
She's like, and I'll be here, but I'll send for him.
Do we have anything new that we're actually going to talk to him about, or just we're going to detect? Oh wait, we can't detect thoughts on him here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's okay. We can chat with him.
Yeah, we can try.
Wait. But can we ask her if that's possible? If we can have a room where we can cast detect thoughts on him?
Sounds like she's anti that. given that she stopped Nahesa from casting a similar spell.
I couldn't.
It couldn't
actually stop.
She didn't stop.
I think it has to do with the architecture of the prison.
I agree, but she also her mannerisms made it sound like she was against you doing that morally as well.
Nahesa, you can give me an arcana.
Yeah,
Nahesa, you can give me an arcana check if you want to see if you can figure out why your spell didn't go off.
Oh God! All right.
I want to make your skill. Oh, it's a 13. I see.
Not bad.
Yeah, the prison has a permanent anti-magic field.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
I'd like to point out that is literally the stupidest defense mechanism you could have for like.
How so? It would prevent most of the ways of escaping.
Yeah, but you would get a bunch of wizards that would fly over that had turned boulders into pebbles, and then they would just drop them like ball bearings. And as they hit the anti-magic field, they would become boulders again.
Mm.
After
okay, and then what?
After a few more moments, the door opens up again, and you see the familiar face of one Nildar Sunblight.
I'm like twirling the braid ring on my finger when he comes in.
Before he enters, I just want to briefly like Rúna is standing next to Rixana, and she'll lean in and just quietly say like, "Sis, this place feels real. I like it here."
Oh.
I think you may be the only one who does like it here, but it's good to know.
It's a slod suppression field.
It's a Slard Faraday cage.
Actually, yeah, I was wondering if anyone who died in the black cabin and was reanimated, if they had the slad, would it still be there?
Well, you didn't die, so I guess we'll find out next time you die. but-
Lathander reses them, but like reses the
And
slot.
then next to them is the slot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
Lathander goes, I thought the slot deserved a second chance, also.
or
It's
better
really not
yet,
fair to the slot.
Yeah.
in the border ethereal, there's suddenly a slod tadpole specter. Just
Oh, can you
flying
imagine
by
like,
every-
this swarm of tadpoles like following the Cayleigh around? It's like, what is that?
There's
So-
just one fewer than the number of party members.
So the warden leads in Nildar and sits him down, and as she's bringing him in, she like points in front of his face to Leif, like directing his vision so that he looks over and sees Leif, and he's like, "What? What? That? I'm sorry!" And he starts freaking out, and she grabs him by the shoulders and forces him down into the chair, and she's like, "Okay." She's like, "Nildar, your old friends are here to ask you some questions." She's like, "I'm sure if you play nice, that man might give you your braid back." And he's like, "What? Back? I don't want it back. What? Do you have any idea how long it takes to grow a braid like that?" And she's like, "Okay, all right."
I
Calm down,
like discarded the hair as well. It's just the ring. The hair was gross.
And after a moment, he he visibly calms and he's looking around. He's like, "All right, fine. What? What is it?"
I got nothing.
We really just wanted to
Just
Yeah.
saying hi.
How you doing?
yeah, how's it been?
Yeah, I really don't know what the plan is talking to this guy.
Yeah, now that we don't have the detect thoughts, that was my whole plan.
Oh,
I mean,
Your
yeah.
plan is too clever for us. And we just wanted you to know that you win.
We could ask him about these four people. These
Uh,
the Arcane
people.
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we do that, Case,
Yeah.
was that? Did you say that in character?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. And he's just
What,
like,
wait, what did you say?
I said his plan was too clever for us and we couldn't figure it out.
and he's like, he's like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew you just stumbled upon me just by happenstance. I knew you couldn't figure it out where we were. We hid that fortress too well.
Wait, isn't that where we caught him?
Mm-hmm.
No,
No, he's talking about the fortress that we actually do know the location of. I think.
The one the little tiny one that's built in the side of Kelvin's cairn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone is quaking in fear in Ted Towns when they hear that the Duergar are coming.
And they should be.
Actually, what actually happened is there were Duergar in Icewind Dale. No one
Did you
seemed
say
to be
that?
bothered. We told them to defend themselves, and they were like, meh.
He's like, well, he's like, then they're even more foolish than you. He's like, either way, 10 towns will fall.
all.
I guess so.
We actually do kind of agree. I don't say that out loud, but we actually do kind of agree that they're being pretty foolish.
So,
But-
so the Duergar are just going to push over all of the houses. That's what you're saying. Okay.
I feel like they need to aim a little higher, like 10 towns falling. Like,
It's like, well, you got to start somewhere, right? He's like, we can't.
I don't.
He's like Nildar Sunblight. He's like he can't claim dominion over the surface world like in the middle of a human kingdom of the south. He's like, but 10 towns is ripe for the picking, and the climate that doesn't bother us at all.
It's
What are you going to do
interesting
about
that even how-
the demigod that's threatening to wipe them all out unless they do ritual sacrifices? Are you
Oh, well, ritual sacrifice. That's nothing that we're afraid of. But Zardarok has a plan for that as well.
What's the plan?
Well, he's no. That you'll have to wait and see when you're under his sovereign reign.
He doesn't have a plan, does he?
He
No, I
has
don't think he
he
has
has
a
a
Cast,
plan.
I declare
that's
I
what I
cast Zone
heard.
of
No
Truth.
plan.
You cannot lie to us in here. This room is ensorcelled. And he's like, God. I bust out laughing. Stupid.
And he's like,
oh my-
is there a reason for this? He's like, I appreciate being out of my cell, but I don't appreciate seeing you all again.
You can't throw a rock in here without finding, without hitting some would-be conqueror of 10 towns, apparently.
Or an idiot.
What makes you think your plan is going to work?
Well, there are elements to it that have not yet been revealed.
Chardolin and?
Such as?
What? Well, if I tell you, are you going to get me out of here? I don't think so.
Well, you're not
Yes,
going
we
to go
will.
anywhere no matter what. Oh, okay.
that was the good cop, bad cop at the same time.
You have my word, I'll do everything in my power to get you out.
Roll me a persuasion check.
God.
And he's like, your word in your power. He's like, I'm not falling for that. He's like, I wouldn't believe the people who put me here would do everything they could to get me out.
Well, we're a fickle bunch, to be honest. So your options are either to stay in here for the rest of your life or roll the dice. I know what I would choose.
Actually, I mean, this guy, no one knows he's here.
I'll
The
take
rest
a
of the
persuasion
world-
check from Rixana. Sorry, Justin, you can keep talking. I just want to make
Yeah.
sure I got that I
Yep.
wanted to check.
No one knows that he's. What do you mean? No one knows that he's here?
Well, none of the Duergar.
Didn't we
know.
arrest 2 of them at once?
Broshka's here as
There's
well.
more than one in here, yeah.
Oh yeah, bro.
Shouldn't be advantage, so it should just be the 19.
And he's like, I never was much for gambling, but you do bring up a good point. Very well. He's like, so when last we met, you presumed that that there was a Duergar army that was going to march over 10 towns. Well, yeah, there is. But the army is coming after the fact. The army is playing cleanup. No, 10 towns' destruction will come from the skies. The Chardolin is
Flying
being...
dwarves now?
Yeah, well, he's like, last I checked, it didn't suffer our kind on its back, but he's like, the Chardolin is being used. My father, Nildar Sunblight, future king of Icewind Dale, is using the Chardolin to craft a devastating construct that will soar through the skies of Icewind Dale and rain destruction down on 10 towns.
I
That
just
does
look
sound pretty
at
cool.
I look at I look at Bear to see his reaction, to see if that's even like remotely feasible, because like he would know.
Oh, Bear looks, we'll just say, concerned at this. That is a very real possibility.
Mm.
Now, what this construct is, I know, but Chardolin, since it's a metal, it can be worked like any metal, but it is inherently magical, and it is also inherently evil and kind of sort of demonic.
Can
So,
substance really be evil?
yes, it can.
And it's right.
One of those like Dharma Initiative videos starts to play about how substances can be evil.
Yeah, honestly, it sounds like control. Like,
Yeah.
Chardolin, it will
Yeah.
start talking to you. Don't trust it.
Where's
Just
the
keep it in
Threshold
its room.
Kids episode about Chardolin.
Yeah.
So where's this construct being constructed then?
Well, the only place that can hold such a beast, it's in the fortress, the Sunblight Fortress. My father oversees construction personally. He's like, and trust me, he's
How
like,
much Chardolin do you have?
a lot. He's like,
I mean, it does explain your mental state right now, I guess.
What?
What kind of beast?
He's like, it's one that strikes fear in the hearts of any who see it. Everyone knows of this silhouette in the sky.
God,
they
it's the
know
Stay
to
Puff
fear.
Marshmallow Man.
It's
Definitely Beholder.
Flying Stay Puft Marshmallow.
he's
Man.
like, in a few weeks' time, you will see the shape of the Chardalyn dragon flying over the skies of Icewind Dale, and you too will know true terror.
What are you going to do about the real dragon?
Wait.
What real dragon?
The white dragon.
If there's a dragon flying around Icewind Dale, then it too will bow before our construct.
Rúna, like
I do the blessed face. I like knock my head to the side.
So I kind of want to like lean over the table. Like I snap to attention all of a sudden, and I lean over the table, and I just like catch his gaze, and Rúna just in like a low, like a voice that you haven't heard her speak in a long time says, "Do not speak to me of fear. You do not know true fear." And her eyes sort of glint. And I don't know if this will work because of the architecture, but I want to use my presence, my Fey presence,
Okay.
to try to make him afraid.
Okay. Is that a wisdom save?
It is a wisdom save, yes.
All right. What's the
13.
13? Okay. Just a sec. Didn't have his sheet open for whatever reason. I don't know why I didn't think you guys would be.
He doesn't have a sheet. I just got, with Rúna like leaning across him, I got flashbacks of that Haribo advert where the child interrogates the adult.
Runa's childlike, but she is adult in, stature.
This is going on.
So, you can tell that. Oh,
While this is going on, they're be taking this seriously. Oh, I was just gonna say, Bear seems to be taking this very seriously.
Rúna, there's this moment where a shadow of fear passes over Nildar's face, and he does look concerned. He does look scared of whatever it is that Rúna's implying. But after a moment, it passes.
Okay.
And he's like, until you see as much Chardalyn as I have, focused into a force of pure destruction. He's like, everything else, it's nothing.
So why the delay?
He's
Why
like,
isn't this out right now, wreaking havoc?
Why don't you go ask? Constructs take time. They need to be perfected. You have to ensure that it isn't going to fail in its first
But you have
run.
a plan with a date.
So what you're saying is we have enough time to stop it. Thank you.
Well,
And I assume the Chardalyn is kept in the fortress as well.
He's like, the Chardalyn. He's like, all of it has been put into the dragon. He's like, any that is left, it's probably been claimed by my father.
Sorry, the what? The what now?
The dragon?
Thank you.
You made a dragon.
The Chardalyn dragon.
I feel like I said that previously.
Did he though?
Now we're making him question. Yeah, he said the Chardalyn dragon. was
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I said the form of a dragon flying over 10 towns.
Like, did I not say that?
Well, against all odds, this guy has been more useful in like 5 minutes than the last guy was in like an hour.
Yeah, you should let him go immediately.
So I turn to the warden. Has he been raving like this the whole time he's been here about this?
She's like, the most I've heard is just about his braid.
Oh,
Does that not make you think
could
that maybe you aren't asking the right questions or looking for the right information?
She's like, perhaps.
Could
She's
you
like,
report
but-
this back to the speakers of 10 Towns
Yes.
immediately?
She's like, of course. She's like, I'm gonna wait to make sure this thing doesn't have anything more to spill.
He is a person.
And she's like,
Debatably, but
Yeah, that's a little.
It's almost like she's a prison warden or something.
Any other questions we have for this guy? I feel like we got what we wanted, but
what do you give your odds of escape?
yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, when your dragon flies over and like I'm assuming tears this place to its foundations, surely you'll be dead.
Wouldn't it just stop working if it like flew over this place?
Well, this is also not 10 towns, so
Well,
it wasn't on our map.
It wasn't on
so
our
to
map.
speak.
Which means they're definitely not coming for you.
Yeah, they're
Mhm.
definitely not.
He's like, I have faith that when my father finds that my operation has come to a halt in Kelvin's cairn, that he will.
They're not
he
going
will
to
make
Kelvin's
every
cairn either.
effort. I mean, after 10 towns is taken, then they'll be well. Where's Nildar? He was just here, and they'll come.
I got Nildar.
Where's Nildar?
I'm sure that'll be on top of their
Quick, spit
priority
out.
list.
We gotta find
It's gonna
Nildar.
be like Home Alone. They're gonna
Nildar.
They're gonna be halfway to 10 towns. Wait.
yeah. hmm
So does your father answer to anyone, or is he the top of the old Duergar food chain there?
Answer to anyone. He's king. He is future king of Icewind Dale's Zardarok Sunblight. He answers to none but himself.
He has one fortress. I wouldn't call that a king.
Also, like
What?
future king doesn't count, right?
Yeah.
Like
no,
I
it
don't know a
doesn't.
lot about this, but I don't think that counts if you're future king.
True. They don't quite make it into the history books. The whole section on future kings.
I mean, everyone's potentially a future king, right?
Everyone is a king until they aren't.
Yeah.
really.
This is our group's classic interrogation method where we just start tearing them down psychologically.
It did work apparently the second time.
He sits there for a moment and he looks at all of you, and then he's like, "Warden, I'm done here." And she's like, "Oh."
Fair.
She's like, "I'm sorry. Apparently he's finished." She's like, "Is that
He's
it?"
very testy.
She's like, "Is that all that you had for him?"
See that he gets a nap.
Yeah, he's a little
I think
feisty.
we're good here.
Mhm.
All right, so then she walks over and takes Nildar out of the chair, and he's just huffing away. And as she opens the door, he's like, "You'll all be laughing real hard when that dragon comes flying." And then the door closes, and you hear him just like his voice echoing down the hallway.